So let me go ahead and read this to you. The mountain, strength. The massiveness of the mountain in this image. I'm going to show this to you. Let me just hold it up. Bearing the blankets of snow as spectacular hues from the sun reflect its body. It evokes a sense of irreparable and immovable strength and stature. So a mountain's quiet, it's resolute, and it's also poses challenges. And so what it's saying in this particular message is it makes no sense to deny the strength you have at the cost of allowing yourself to be reactive and subjective to external influences far beyond what's healthy for you. So there's no reason to deny the strength you have at the cost of allowing yourself to be reactive. Okay? So imagine yourself as a mountain of strength, solidly grounded in the earth, your head held high, as if you were touching the sky. Do so without straining, just as the mountain itself does not strain. A mountain doesn't strain, it just sits there looking beautiful. The current situation calls for you to be vigilant, but not to the point of fear or paranoia. Be the rock of strength that you are capable of becoming. The solidness of your resolve will be clearly communicated when you model yourself after the towering immensity of a mountain. Standing steady like a rock is what is called for you at this time. So, okay, so this feels like for you guys, that, now's the time for you to be that steady rock, own your strength, own your beautiful majesty, if you will, the majesty of a mountain. When I say that, I got the chills, but the purple majesty, that's in the song. So that's the beginning of your reading. I just wanted to go ahead and pull something that would kind of set the tone of the month for you, Scorpio. Okay, so now that's pretty awesome. The Mountain of Strength. Okay, so now I'm going to pull 4 cards from the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck, and this one wants to come out. Okay, the cards are, as you know, well, they're being a little bit picky with you guys. Saying we'll come out when we come out. This one wants to come out. This one wants to come out. And there's one more. And this one. Okay. All right, now we have 4. Okay. And 4 is a grounding number. If you ever wonder why I choose 4, it feels right in this particular setting. And of course, I did an extra one from additional deck, and I'm going to continue to do that. I have Archangel's cards. I have all kinds of great cards. So let's turn it over and see what you get for your first card. Okay, so this is a physical card. This is movement, choices, and decisions. Okay, so the physical cards denote it denotes power, it denotes money, our finances, everything which is physical outside of us, our possessions, right? Okay, so there's going to be some movement, choices, and decisions. If I'm not mistaken, you guys got movement I don't think it was this card. And I'm trying to remember if it was September, October. But this is movement of. This is the number 2. You're also going to have to be very cooperative with some people, with someone, and this won't be your decision alone. It says decisions, but this won't be your alone. You're going to have to check in with somebody else. How do they feel about it? What do they think? That'd be probably a good thing to do. You're going to gain your knowledge from what others have to tell you. That's how you're going to gain your knowledge and make your decisions. Your choices. Okay, so you're going to have, so there's choices. That's a pretty obvious statement, isn't it? Okay, so let me tune in and see what this could mean about choices. Okay, I'm hearing the word perpendicular. Okay, so what does that mean for me, for you? Um, well, those arches are going straight up. And then, okay, so it feels like, you can go down a road and you can change, you can make a different choice. You can change your mind. You give yourself that mountain strength, give yourself that ability, cooperate with yourself, that if you need to change your mind on something, it's okay. It's all right. Intuitively go into it and see if that's the best decision or not. If it's not, then pull away. Then just say, okay, you know what? This is how I feel better. And by doing that is when you take a deep breath, feel which one feels best to you. Movement. Well, there are going to be some changes for you. I feel like there will be some money you're going to need to put out for something. You're going to need to expend some money on something. And I'm not only seeing, one thing I'm seeing is maybe some of you, and this is of course a general reading, if you want a specific reading just for you, then email me or however you want to contact me. But it could even mean like appliances, because I see a washer and dryer, but especially, and I'm thinking it's the dryer. But it could be both, that you just need to buy a new set. Maybe there's some plumbing issues. Maybe there's some money you need to spend for that. This actually does have to do with money, but I'm feeling like you're going to need to spend money. We always like to make money, don't we? But life calls for us to have to spend money on what we have to spend money on. I'm feeling like some of you too, because I'm seeing a car. Your cars may need to be repaired, because I'm seeing someone with their hood up and it's kind of smoking, and maybe it overheated, or maybe it's an oil pan or something like that you need to check. If your check engine light comes on, I would advise you guys to look into it, to take it in, to be checked out. It may be nothing, but if it's smoking, then that means something. So let's see if there's anything else that I get from this card. Well, when I look straight at it, I did see this particular green, the green archway, and that has a lotus in it. It's also green, like money. But when I see green, it either is money, it's healing, or it's like overseas. I get the Scotland, Ireland, Mediterranean feel. For you, there's kind of a peacefulness that comes out of having to spend this money. This is unusual. Okay, because usually it's like, oh, I've got to spend this money on these things that came up all of a sudden, and it may come up at the very beginning of November. But you know what? I feel like some of you are going to say, okay, I'm going to have to do that. There's some changes, but you know what? It'll be okay. And your pocketbook, for the most part, is going to be fine. So just know that, it's a financial change. Okay. So the next card that comes up for you guys is a mental card. And this is a card that's very interesting when it comes up, because it can be interpreted in so many different ways. This is a mental card, and it's heartache and loss. That feels heavy. But let's take a look at it. And it's a mental card, so it's thinking. It's not like the card before where it's actually happening. This is what's going on in your mind. Okay. So, and it is the number 3 too, and the number 3 is about creativity. It's about communication. Okay, so heartache and loss. Okay, so I really am feeling, though, that there is some real loss, or that you see some coming on, or that maybe it could be, I'm feeling someone's health, and this may be a parent, an elderly parent that, you has been ill. But I do feel, and maybe it's not, because I don't predict death, but maybe it's that you just see there's some furthering of either their health, the risk of their health going down. That's what it's feeling like. When I talk to my clients and this card comes up, I ask them, what is going on with you that maybe you're thinking too much about loss and maybe you're not thinking more positively. Because I understand we can't just be all sugary, sweet all the time, or things can't be. But what's the opportunity to see the positive situation in this? How can I benefit, or how can I see the higher good, the highest good for me and everybody else concerned? It can also mean children too. I don't know if any of you have young children that are well, they're not getting ready to go to school because they've been in school. But too, maybe they are getting ready to take a break from school. It's coming up, and maybe it's the loss of your time. I'm also seeing, when I said children, right after that, I saw a child in the hospital. So I'm sorry for anybody that has that going on. But I feel like, if this is anybody, I'm seeing them like eat on a bite of candy and actually taking care of them and giving them sweets and letting them know that this is a temporary situation. Talk to them. This is a number 3. Talk to them. It could feel like the separation while they're away from you. Communicate to them. Communicate to any loss that you have going on. Okay. Interesting card to come up. Okay, so your next one is another. Well, actually, you haven't had a spirit card. You've had a physical card, you've had a mental card, and here is a spirit card. And this is a lovely card. It really says so much. This is Foundation and Achievements. It's the number 4. And in numerology, 4 has to do with Earth. It has to do with being practical, being organized, and setting your foundation in place. Okay? So, foundation and achievements on a spiritual realm. And spiritual cards have to do with our aspirations, our inspirations, our hopes and wishes for ourselves and our community. So, when I look at this card, it's interesting. A lot of times I'll see something in through here, like it's someone's head or whatever, but I'm really seeing the yellow part of the rainbow. Okay, which is between the orange and the blue. Above, actually, and the chimney is right below. Okay, well, this has been coming up a lot. It hasn't that much for November, but for you guys it has. So if it came up last month, then here we go. See how the yellow kind of touches the top of the chimney? Okay, and this is a spirit card. So I feel like a lot of you that, you have a family or a community, a spiritual community or family that you want to bring more of that in. I see some people sitting around doing metaphysical things together, and or if you're religious, could even be reading the Bible. But I just have a real close-knit type of feeling within a group of people. And a group of people could be, 2 or more, actually. But the feeling I'm getting is, and I'm seeing sort of like, too, a building that some people you go to and you gather and you meet together. It could be even a meetup that you get a lot out of. And so also this is around Thanksgiving time. So this could be gathering with family, gathering with friends, being thankful, being grateful. It's a great time to be grateful, right? Because when we're grateful for what all we have, then what we don't have just sort of we don't have the feeling of dissipate some when we're grateful for what we do have. So I'm feeling like a lot of you really are looking forward to having some close people in your life, some really close friends, some people that you can count on and feel support with, or support each other, and communicate with each other. And when things come up in your life that you need to talk to, this group of people really, really has your back. Okay? All right. So your fourth card, wow, your fourth card of this 4-card spread, and I love this card. This is the card that John Holland uses on the book and the deck, is the Universe card. And the Universe card in traditional tarot is the same as the World card. Okay, so this is really an awesome card to come up to end your month of November with. And I feel like this slips a little bit into December. I don't know, I haven't done your December reading. But to take the feeling of the universe, wishes fulfilled, I feel like, the world is yours. Create it how you want. Everything, the moon and the stars and the sky and ourselves, everything, we're all connected. Don't mean to keep going into this quantum physics thing, but it is true. And so to feel one with the universe, feel like, any decisions that and you do have some coming up, that, you've spiritually made some good choices. I feel like that's what you're going to feel like. You've made some pretty good choices. And this really kind of this card puts you on a path of, oh, this feels good. This is, what? Okay, so we're talking about that strength card. Remember the mountain? Remember the mountain, how it says, feel your strength. This is how I can make decisions and just stay with them. And this is how I feel. So it's all good. When I look at this card, I'm seeing the movement around her face. I'm seeing the movement around her. So she's staying steady like that mountain that came up at the beginning, but there's always things, always situations, always people that are going to be in her life. Okay, and with this card, I'm feeling that some of you, there's going to be with some of you again, romantic not romantic issues, but some romantic times together. I'm feeling like there's some romantic times, because I'm seeing the water and the swans and people in a boat. When I get that, it's romance. I just feel that you're you're feeling very complete on where you are. You've maybe gone over some hurdles in the last couple of months, and it's been like, which way do I go, and what's the resolve out of this? But I'm feeling like no matter what the resolve is, no matter what the decisions are, that now that what you've been through is an experience, and you now know that you can kind of choose and create your choices. I'm again seeing some of you reading actually quite a bit. And you may have some time towards the end of November during Thanksgiving if you have any time off. And really feeling your spirituality. And again, with someone else, I see you guys coupled with either a friend and or a boyfriend and or a girlfriend and or a spouse, and in a very spiritual kind of way. So it's a beautiful, beautiful card to end the month on. And I feel like this is a major theme that's playing out in your life. This is a major arcana card. So it is a universal message. It's lovely. It's wonderful to end your month on, Scorpio. I'm very excited for you. I think you have a lot going on this month. I think you have a lot to weigh. I think your spiritual foundation is going to